Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So for today's video, we are going to go over a buyer's guide for the very popular Lexus IS models. This is going to include the 300, the 350, as well as the IS500. So we have a lot of pricing to go over, a lot of different engine options, a lot of packages, any recalls, any issues with this very reliable sedan. It's very luxurious, it's also performance oriented. So we have a lot to cover in today's video. If you're looking for a sedan, is this the one that you should go with? Well, let's find out. And to start off today's video, let's first go back to when the IS models were first launched. For the first generations, they came out in 2001 and went until 2005. The second generation actually had a facelift. So from 2006 to 2008 was the basically first generation of the second, and then the facelift happened in 2009 and went until 2013. There was a third generation from 2014 to 2016. There was a facelift for the third gen in 2017 that went until 2018. And then in 2021, we had another facelift for the Gen 3. That is what you currently see behind me that goes until the current model year. There are also several different trim levels with each of these models that you can go with. So with the 300, the 350, and the 500. If we start off with the IS300, you can get a base, which is going to be rear wheel drive. You can go with all wheel drive. You can also go with the F-Sport design all wheel drive, F-Sport, and F-Sport all wheel drive. For the 350, you have the F-Sport design as well as F-Sport. And then for the 500, there's the F-Sport Performance as well as the F-Sport Performance Premium. And then there's also several different packages and options that you can get with all of these IS models. Some of these are specific to the IS model itself, like the Comfort Package, which is only for the IS300. This is going to give you some creature comforts like the heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, rain sensing wiper blades. You can also bump up to the Premium Package. So this is going to include that Comfort Package that we just went over. However, it's going to upgrade your wheels, so you get a very nice set of wheels. You also get the Lexus memory system for the driver's seats. You get some wood trim as well as cup holders for the rear, and then the power sunshade for your rear passengers. You can also get the memory package as well, which is for the power tilt steering wheel as well as the outside mirrors, and then for the driver's seat. So that is a standalone option that you can add. If you go to the navigation and Mark Levinson audio package, you get the 17 speaker audio system along with the larger infotainment system, and you get a few other things like your dynamic voice command as well as the navigation package, which is included for 3 years. Now you can also get the navigation as a standalone option. You do, however, get a smaller screen for that, but you get everything else that you saw with the premium package. If we go into the F-Sport handling package now, this bumps up to the 350. You can also get an F-Sport for the 300 model as well, but for this handling package, you get the different driving modes as well as the suspension and the rear differential. And then for the 350 and the 500, you can go with the Blackout package, which gives you a matte black set of wheels, and you get some dark chrome and then chrome for the mirror trim. And then you also have the 500 F-Sport Premium Package, which is specific and limited. Gives you blue Vector, which is a very limited color, and then you get some wheels as well as the color floor mats and some very nice premium seats. Now you can also get into the options, and these are a lot of standalone options that you can get for all of the models, just depending on what you would like to get. So let's move on now to the different engine options that are available for the IS. Starting off with the 300, there are actually two different engine options that you can go with. You can get the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo. It's going to make the vehicle rear-wheel drive and pump out 241 horsepower. Or you can actually opt to get all-wheel drive for the 300 F-Sport, and it utilizes the 3.5-liter V6, making 260 horsepower. Now this is actually slightly detuned from the 350 F-Sport, which only has the one engine option, the 3.5-liter V6, but it pumps out 311 horsepower. And then last up for the IS500, you get the 5-liter V8 with 472 horsepower. All of these engines are paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. However, with the 300, there is a 6-speed that is available for the 3.5-liter V6. So you have a few different engine options to go with, and it's very simple. You pick the engine you want basically, and that is the model that you are going with. So along with the trim levels, it makes it very easy to pick which model that you're going to go with. So what do all of these different models cost? Well, let's move on to the MSRPs. We'll start off with the IS300 F Sport. If you get the rear wheel drive version, that has a starting MSRP at just over $41,000. If you bump up to all-wheel drive with the V6, that is closer to $43,000. Now for the 350 F Sport, you have two different options as well. You can go all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. We have starting MSRPs of $44,000 and $46,000. And then for the IS500, you have $60,000 and $64,000 depending on which trim level you go with for the 500. So you have a big range, about a $20,000 discrepancy, just depending on which engine option you want to go with, as well as the different options. Now the IS350 F Sport behind me has an MSRP right around $58,000. Now I just mentioned the starting MSRP for rear wheel drive was around $44,000. So we have a lot of options for this particular model. And again, it just depends on what you're looking to get and the different options that you want for these. Now, as far as buying these on the used market, let's talk about the depreciation and what you can expect to pay. So going all the way back to the first generation with a 2001 year model, I found an average those to be right around $15,000. If you're looking for a slightly used model, so let's say 2023, you can find them between $27,000 and $34,000. And then for the IS500, closer to the high $50,000 range. So they seem to hold their value pretty well. So now a really big question with this Lexus sedan is, what are any issues that you should look for, as well as any recalls? Well, if you're unfamiliar with Toyota and Lexus, they have been #1 in reliability for quite some time. Now, that doesn't mean there haven't been some recalls in the past. I owned a Toyota Tacoma, part of the Toyota Lexus group, of course, and there were a few insignificant recalls throughout my ownership, as well as just with the brand in general. But overall, they are #1 in reliability. For the Lexus IS models, I found for the 23-year model and 2024-year model, there were no recalls for any of the models that they put on the production line. Now, I have found that there is a fuel pump recall for some of the older models. This is something that you just have to talk to your dealer with, give them your VIN, see if your vehicle is affected. If you're looking for a used vehicle, make sure you get a PPI, which is the pre-purchase inspection, just to make sure everything is sound with the vehicle that you are interested in. Now, in general, any Lexus or Toyota, you should be pretty good. Those are the only things that I found. Just the fuel pump recall, which obviously is important, but it wasn't significant enough throughout the production models to really be an issue. So make sure you just do your due diligence with your pre-purchase inspection. Toyota and Lexus are very, very reliable. So that just says it in itself, doing that research. Next up, let's talk about cost of maintenance and insurance real quick. I have never owned a Lexus IS model, but I was able to do a little bit of research. On average, it showed about $543 a year for cost of maintenance. That is just a general average. I really don't think you'll spend even anything close to that. Doing an oil change once a year or every 10,000 miles isn't going to even be half of that, especially if you can do it yourself. If you can't, it might just cost you a couple $100, but honestly, that seems like a very, very high quote per year. And then insurance has so many variables and factors. You really just have to put in a quote or get a quote with your insurance company to see what it's like before you buy the vehicle. So that way you can expect to know what to pay if you are actually going to purchase the vehicle. As we set off now behind the wheel for the IS350, we do have full detailed reviews for the IS300, 350, as well as the 500. So if you want to see all of those videos, check them out just to go over the rest of the details. They go a lot further in details with all these models, as well as all the features and everything that's available for the F Sport models. But this is a very nice luxury focused sedan from Lexus. It gives you the luxury vibe and feel without going overboard with all the technology. We have the large touchscreen infotainment system. Everything is laid out incredibly well. And it's just a vehicle that you can get in and drive. You don't have to set up a million different settings. It gives you the tech that you need without going to that next level or overboard in what some people would say. We still have a CD player here that you can pop in those CDs and listen to those as you want. Turning radius is also very tight too, so it's a very maneuverable vehicle, but it's nice. I can see why this is such a popular sedan, and a lot of people really like the 3.5 liter V6 or even the V8. It's a very sound engine. It's an engine that Toyota has been using for several decades, and a lot of people like the reliability of that engine. Without going to some of the other models, like in the 300, for example, does have the option of that 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, and there have been some other Lexus models that are starting to get the hybrid systems too. So I think people are just drawn to the V6 power as well as the V8 power too. And it's just a nice place to be. It's very refined feeling, very comfortable, even with the F-Sport suspension. Now you can also choose to not get the F-Sport package, but I pretty much see every 350 and 500 coming with the F-Sport package. This is a vehicle that you can drive every single day and not really worry about anything. It's an easy vehicle to maintain, to keep on the road. Obviously, where you live in your region is going to determine some of those pricings. Those are factors that you just have to look at to see. But how do you know you're in the market for a vehicle like this? Well, you're getting something very reliable for the cost. You're getting into that luxury brand, and it's just something that is practical, daily drivable. You can put hundreds of thousands of miles on these vehicles and know that you're getting something that will last you a long time. So if you're in the market for one car, you want to own it 10 plus years, that's what a lot of Toyota and Lexus owners do. When they buy their vehicles, they generally go as long as Toyota or Lexus goes until they make the next model. Usually that's about 10 years. You can own the car 10 years. If you choose to upgrade, you can upgrade. If not, the car is still going to last you several years past that. So this is just a good all-around kind of simple vehicle to drive, but it's something that is comfortable to drive, and it's going to give you what you want to drive it every single day. But that is going to wrap it up for the buyer's guide on the Lexus IS models. Again, we have full reviews for all of these vehicles, so check out our channel so that way you can watch those videos. I hope you enjoyed today's video as well, going over everything that is available for this. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. If you own one of these models, share your ownership experience, and let's see any negatives with the vehicle as well. I can't think of any. I've driven them so much that I really can't think of anything, but if you have any negatives with this sedan, drop those in the comments as well. Give the video a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.